If you weren't looking closely at Elizabeth's hands in that final scene, you completely missed the real story. Notice how her fingers were tightly gripping that medical tablet while she stared down Willow? That wasn't just a nurse concerned about a patient's recovery, that was a woman holding a loaded gun in the form of a digital file. And Willow's slight flinch? Her eyes darting to the floor for just a fraction of a second? That told us everything we needed to know. This wasn't just another hospital disagreement. This was the quiet declaration of a war that is about to tear the entire hospital apart. The writers are trying to distract us with the obvious drama, but if you watch the background, the true narrative is hiding right there in plain sight. What we are seeing on the surface is nothing but a carefully constructed illusion. Gather around closely, ladies, and pour yourselves a strong cup of tea, because the behind-the-scenes whispers I am hearing about the July 27th episode are absolutely staggering. I have been digging through a unconfirmed leak that just landed on my desk, and it changes everything we thought we knew about the current storylines. The hush-hush rumor floating around the studio is that the surface-level drama we are watching right now is nothing more than an elaborate smokescreen designed to hide the most drastic storyline shift we have seen in years. It seems like every single person in town is wearing a mask, hiding their true, sinister motives behind fake smiles and forced pleasantry. High chances are that the writers are setting up a massive reveal that will shatter the lives of our favorite characters. What if the truth is way more complicated than a simple hospital feud or a mob rivalry? Let us break down these unconfirmed leaks together, because if even half of this is true, we are in for a wild ride. Let us start with that incredibly tense dynamic between Elizabeth and Willow. On the surface, it looks like Elizabeth is just being a diligent nurse, pushing for Drew to expand his communication tools while Willow acts like the overly protective loved one. But it seems like there is a much darker psychological game being played here. High chances are that Elizabeth is intentionally provoking Willow, poking the bear to see exactly how she reacts under pressure. What if Elizabeth has already figured out that Willow is hiding something far more dangerous than just the truth about Drew and his paralysis? The unconfirmed leak suggests that Elizabeth is setting a deliberate trap, using Drew as the perfect bait to force Willow into making a fatal mistake. It seems like Elizabeth knows that Willow is terrified of Drew regaining his speech, but the truth might be way more complicated than just keeping him quiet about a past misdeed. The behind-the-scenes whisper is that Elizabeth has actually discovered a piece of concrete evidence, perhaps a hidden medical file, an altered lab report, or even a secret audio recording that could cause Willow to lose absolutely everything she holds dear. What if this evidence proves that Willow has been orchestrating a massive cover-up right under everyone's noses? High chances are that Elizabeth is biding her time, waiting for the perfect moment to drop this bombshell and completely destroy the saintly facade that Willow has built for herself. It seems like Willow can sense the danger, which explains her sheer panic every time Elizabeth enters the room. If this hush-hush rumor is true, we are about to witness a catastrophic downfall for Willow, and Elizabeth will be the one holding the match that burns her carefully constructed life to the ground. The tension is palpable, and what if this is just the beginning of a massive hospital war? Meanwhile, the situation over at the police station is entirely shrouded in mystery. We all saw Anna return to reclaim her position as police commissioner, forcing Dante to step down, but it seems like this entire reshuffling of power is a complete sham. High chances are that Dante and Anna are secretly working together on a highly classified internal investigation within the police department. What if they suspect that there is a deep-rooted corruption or a mole operating right under their noses? The unconfirmed leak indicates that Anna did not just come back to sit behind a desk. She came back to clean house, and Dante is her undercover operative. It seems like they are putting on a show of tension and displacement to fool the real criminals inside the precinct. The truth might be way more complicated than a simple change of management, and this hush-hush rumor suggests that no one at the station is safe from their secret scrutiny. This brings us directly to Chase, who is currently facing what looks like a standard loyalty test from Dante during his first week back on the job. But what if this is not just about testing his dedication to the badge? High chances are that Chase is being heavily monitored and vetted for a top-secret, highly dangerous mission. The behind-the-scenes whisper is that if Chase passes this intense psychological and professional test, he will not just go back to being a regular detective. It seems like Anna and Dante are preparing to recruit him for a covert operation tied directly to the intelligence agency and the ongoing fallout from Cullum. What if Chase is about to be sent deep undercover to dismantle the remnants of Cullum's network? This drastic storyline shift would explain why Dante is pushing him so hard, testing his breaking point to ensure he can handle the immense pressure of a spy operation. Now, let us move on to the highly anticipated return of Jason, which is wrapped in layers of deception. We are being led to believe that Jason has returned to start a new chapter, to leave the mob behind, and to focus solely on being a good father to Danny. But it seems like that is nothing more than a convenient excuse to cover his true tracks. High chances are that Jason did not plan to return to town this early. The unconfirmed leak suggests that something catastrophic happened during his father's Sunday roam with Danny. What if Danny saw or heard something incredibly dangerous while they were away, something that forced Jason to completely abandon his plans and rush back to the safety of the hospital? It seems like Danny is the real reason Jason is back, and the truth might be way more complicated than a simple desire for a peaceful family life. Jason is a man of action, and he only moves this fast when there is a deadly threat looming. Furthermore, Jason's sudden desire to reconcile and make peace with Drew is highly suspicious. It seems like Jason knows a massive secret that he is keeping entirely to himself. What if Jason is only keeping Drew close, not out of brotherly love, but to protect him from a terrifying unseen enemy? High chances are that Jason discovered a plot against Drew. The behind-the-scenes whisper is that Jason's offer to start a new chapter is just a calculated move to seize control of the situation before a massive conspiracy is exposed. It seems like Jason is playing a dangerous game of chess, positioning himself as a shield for Drew while secretly hunting down the people who want to harm his family. What if this new, peaceful Jason is actually the most dangerous version of him we have ever seen? This theory perfectly explains Jason's urgent need to cross paths with Britt. The hush-hush rumor is that their upcoming meeting is absolutely not a coincidence or a simple friendly reunion. High chances are that Jason rushed straight to the hospital specifically to find Britt because he needs her unique medical expertise. What if Danny unknowingly brought back a mysterious lab sample or a highly classified medical file from their trip, and Jason needs Britt to decode it secretly? It seems like Britt has received something incredibly dangerous in Jason's absence, and the two of them are about to form a secret alliance to investigate this mystery off the books. The truth might be way more complicated than a casual catch-up. They are likely teaming up to uncover a biological or medical conspiracy that threatens the entire town. It seems like Jason trusts Britt more than anyone else to handle this explosive information without alerting the authorities. And speaking of Britt, her situation is growing more perilous by the second. We saw Lucas telling Britt to focus on her fresh start and figure out what she wants to do with her new lease on life. But the unconfirmed leak suggests that Lucas is not just being a supportive friend offering life advice. What if Lucas knows exactly how much danger Britt is in right now? High chances are that Lucas is desperately trying to convince Britt to leave town before she gets completely destroyed by the impending war between the intelligence agency and the local police. It seems like Britt is holding on to a secret, perhaps the very secret Jason needs, that makes her a prime target for some very ruthless people. The behind-the-scenes whisper is that Lucas is terrified for her life, knowing that multiple factions are willing to do whatever it takes to get their hands on what she knows. What if Britt's newfound freedom is actually a death sentence if she stays? Over in the world of spies and shadows, Josslyn is playing a very dangerous game of her own. It seems like she is rapidly losing her faith and trust in Brennan. While Brennan claims he is trying to help, high chances are that Josslyn has realized he is intentionally hiding the true identity of the mastermind who was pulling the strings behind Cullum. What if the bad news Brennan is preparing to deliver is nothing but a calculated distraction to keep Josslyn away from the real evidence? The unconfirmed leak hints that Josslyn is way too smart to fall for his tricks, and she might be preparing to go rogue. It seems like instead of just questioning her superiors, Josslyn is going to bypass Brennan entirely and aim her sights directly at Z. What if Z is the real villain, pulling all the strings, and Josslyn is about to expose him? High chances are that Z is about to face a wrath he never saw coming, putting his own life in massive jeopardy. But ladies, the absolute center of this entire tangled web, the one thing that connects every single one of these drastic storyline shifts, is the mysterious black box currently in Valentine's possession. The hush-hush rumor is that this briefcase does not just contain standard blackmail material. High chances are that it holds the ultimate truth about Cullum, the hidden secrets of Jason's captivity, the real motives of Brennan and Sidwell, and the identity of a terrifying new character who is about to arrive in town. What if this box is Pandora's box for our beloved characters? It seems like everyone is desperately searching for it, completely unaware that Valentine is sitting on a ticking time bomb. The truth might be way more complicated than anyone realizes, and the contents of that box could rewrite the entire history of the past few years. It seems like Valentine is playing with fire, and he has no idea how massive the explosion will be. When that black box is finally opened, the unconfirmed leak promises that the fallout will be absolutely biblical. High chances are that long-standing alliances will instantly shatter, families will be torn apart, and the balance of power will shift in a way we cannot even begin to predict. What if the evidence inside proves that the people we thought were heroes are actually the villains, and the villains were trying to save everyone all along? It seems like the writers are preparing for a massive reset, using this box as the catalyst to destroy the current status quo. The behind-the-scenes whisper is that no one, not Jason, not Anna, not Willow, and certainly not Valentine, will walk away from this revelation unscathed. It seems like the impending war will leave casualties in its wake, and we are just counting down the seconds until the inevitable detonation. So, lock your doors, keep your eyes wide open, and whatever you do not trust a single smile you see on your screen next week. The shadows are growing longer, the whispers are getting louder, and the people holding the deepest secrets are the ones standing right in the spotlight. I will be here, watching the darkness unfold. Until next time, stay safe and trust absolutely no one.